Hey everybody. Hey, today we're going to talk about adding some new members to the flock and transporting them. How are we going to get them home? Stick with me. So, new members. I needed some more ewe lambs. I wanted some more ewes if I could have them. We had 2. I saved back 2 lambs as 12. I could handle a few more. I'm figuring out what my pastures would hold. Of course, I'm in Nebraska, and everybody down south has all the painted desert sheep. There aren't any around here, well, except for mine. But I found some, and here are the 3 girls brought home. And I have to thank Rick Holloway from Arkansas City, Kansas, right down on the Oklahoma border. That's where I got these 3. I could have had 4 if I could have fit the 4th one in. And that'll get us into transportation because people always ask me about that. But anyway, I got these 3 back. I'm really liking these 3. The 2 white ones one's got a couple spots, the other one's all white. I'm not going to worry about that, and we'll talk about that more in future videos about my reasoning on going ahead and taking one that's all white. Those 2 are out of a Gold Star ram. Here he is right here. This is Ascot's Megatron Gold, and he is a son of Gold Rush. So I was really happy to have a shot to get 2 lambs, ewe lambs that are daughters of Megatron Gold. The black and white one is out of a daughter of Megatron Gold. So it gives me some new bloodlines. And the other thing I like, when I looked at Gold Rush and Megatron Gold, they are really big-bodied rams. They got some real size to them. So I'm hoping, in this case with the ewes, we can add a little size in. I've been thinking of doing something with that. This should give me the shot to add a little size. All right, let me hang this up so we can talk, and we'll talk about transporting, how I got them here. All right, transporting. I had to pick the hottest 2 days to go do this. About a 6-hour drive down to Rick's. So what I ended up doing, I had 3 lambs left that I had sold that I still had. And that is because the gentleman that was getting this ram and 2 ewe lambs was way down in southern Nebraska, and he was probably 5 miles away from the highway I was going to be going down anyway. So we set it up and talked about it. I said, hey, I'll just bring you yours, save him the trip all the way up. It's going right by this door anyway. So I talked those 3 down, then went the rest of the way, about a 6-hour drive, spent the night, picked up these 3 the next morning, brought them back, and got home probably around 2 in the afternoon. But I had to pick the time, but both days were about 100 degrees. So it wasn't the best time for transporting livestock when it was so hot like that. But because he was so far, I wanted to be able to take my Jeep. I wanted to be able to save on my gas money with the high prices there. I used 2 crates. And here you can see, here's the 2 white ones. Now that is I guess a medium-sized dog crate. Is 36 inches long. It's got the double doors, one on the side, one on the end. I think it's 23 or 24 tall, 23, 24 wide, something like that. 2 fit in there with no problems. Couldn't get 3, but you could get 2. The black and white, I put that one in a single crate. Now this is one of those crates that the plastic, it's only 26 inches tall. All right, in my Jeep, I cannot get the big, large 30-inch tall crate in. Won't fit. So we definitely had to do a single on that one. That crate's just not going to handle 2. So that's the way I hauled them home. And actually for 100 degrees, they didn't mind it. They sat in air conditioning for 6 hours. We got here, and 100 degrees, I think they just soon stay in the Jeep. I don't know if they really wanted to get out in that heat, but got them up with no problem. And that's what I wanted to cover, because a lot of people are asking me when they're buying from me, and it's their first time, well, what can I haul them in? Will they fit in a dog crate? Well, there's your idea. The 36-inch long crate will probably hold 2 as long as they're not real big. Now the 2 white ones, they're a little older. I think, if I remember right, they were the first part of March. So they're over 4 months old. Now the black one was younger, but the black was a single, it wasn't a twin. And singles usually get a little bit bigger. So If you're picking up something that's in the 3 to 4 month range, I would say that 36-inch long dog crate, the metal one, easily handles 1, should be able to handle 2, and the 26-inch tall plastic, you can probably get 1 in there. They'd have to be awful little if you're going to get 2 in. But that's how I transported, and that's what I want to let you know, because so many people are always asking me, what do I need to put them in, or how big of a crate do I have to have? Hopefully this will help you out with that. Now, the next thing is, what do I do when I get them here? Now, in my case, I may do things differently than other people do. Everybody has different ideas what they want to do when they get them. One thing you should always do, I feel, no matter what, is isolate them. I think they need to be isolated for a while just to make sure they're looking good and you don't have any problems. And in my case, the isolation is even more important because if you remember, all my ewes, all my rams have all been tested for CL and OPPV, and they're all negative. So all the sheep I have are negative. I have a clean flock. I can't be bringing in something that is not clean. So here's what I did. Got in here on Saturday night, Saturday afternoon late. Monday afternoon, I had a vet here by Monday afternoon. We drew blood. We sent it in real quick to California. And matter of fact, I even got my email on Thursday. You have to have it there by Thursday. So I said 2-day ship it. I got my email from them, said, well, it was a little late, but we went ahead and put it through anyway. And by Friday, I had my results. Everybody's negative. They're all CL OPPV negative. So I'd kept them back in the catch pen, kept them totally isolated from any other sheep. They can kind of see them, but they can't get anywhere close to anybody. But now, as soon as they came up negative, and I got that results yesterday, I opened the doors and I put them here. The ewes are right next to them. And matter of fact, we're going to be putting them all together. I put them in one day next to each other. We're going to put them together now. And I'm going to get in a little more of that in just a little bit. But that's the way I do it because I need to make sure they're negative before I put them next to any of my other sheep. Now in this case, when I got him Rick, he had wormed all 3 with Vicodin. He had not done any vaccinations to him, which is fine by me. I kind of like that in a sense because that way I know I can give what I want to give. And secondly, I was about to test them for the CL and OPPV. If people vaccinate for CL, and some people do, that will show up positive. That's going to show up as a positive, even though they don't have CL, but because they say their mother was vaccinated for it, they can show up positive for CL even if they're not. So the fact that he didn't vaccinate for anything unless he really had to, I kind of like that. So what we did was, I had that vet in right away, Monday afternoon. We got the blood drawn, and then Monday evening, all 3 of them, I vaccinated all 3 with the CDT, the overeating tetanus shot. They're going to get another one in about a month. And as I said, they had been wormed with Vicodin, which is good for your standard worms. Doesn't do anything for tapeworms. And as Rick said, he was going to think of doing something for tapeworms. I said, don't worry about it. I have some valbazin. And so we wormed them with valbazin right away Monday night and did that. So now they've been wormed. They've had their first CDT shot. Well, they've been wormed twice. Once with Vicodin, once valbazin. And then they've got their first CDT shot. We'll get them another one in about a month. So that'll have us through on that. But I kind of felt better doing it that way. I can go ahead and give the vaccinations. There's guys who do 7 ways, 8 ways, all kinds of different vaccinations. I just like the CDT. I do that. Some people may give a little LA200 as soon as they get them home, just in case for pneumonia, shipping fever, something. I did not do that. You can do it. I like to wait and see, do they really need it? You know, and I've kind of watched, nobody's had any snotty noses. Everybody's been good at that. So I figured, okay, everybody came through in good shape. So we just gave the CDT shot, got them wormed, but we waited till after we drew the blood before we did that. Didn't know if it'd make a difference, but thought probably that's the best way to do it. Now, as I said, I kept them for a week in isolation off by themselves. Then I brought them out here. Now I'm going to put them all together. But here's what I'm going to do. I figured they have not been around a hot wire. And 3 young ewe lambs like this, the older ewes are probably going to push them around a little and put them in their place to start with. So right now the ewes have been out in the pastures with the hot wires. So what I plan on doing, and let me grab the camera here. I'll grab that. There we go. Sorry about that. Here's what I plan on doing. The ewes have been out in the pastures with the hot wires. They have not been around one, so I'm not ready to put them in a pasture with a hot wire. Plus, if the ewes get to push them, they can push them through. So what I'm going to do, excuse me, girls, this is where the rams had been. They've really gotten this pasture eaten down. There's a little out there, but not much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the ewes together, and then I'm going to put them in this pasture for one day. They can go in there for one day. That'll be fine. There's a little grass. Matter of fact, you can look right down there. Look how much grass there is. I happen to have some corral panels out there so the rams couldn't get too close to the ewes. In case some of them were starting to come back into season again, I didn't want them too close. And you can see how fast those rams ate it down. We're going to put them in there for one day. Then I'm going to move them to the next pasture for 2 days. They can stay in that one for 2 days. It's got a little more grass to it. And then, and I won't push you back to the sun, I'm going to move them to another pasture over here, and that has all woven wire fences too. There is no hot wire to that third pasture. That pasture, I'm going to leave them there for at least 2 days. That means the 3 new ones will have at least 5 days acclimating with the other ones, and they will be in pastures with woven wire fences. And after 5 days, we're finally going to put them back in a pasture with a hot wire, and we'll see how things go. But that's the way I want to do it. I want to acclimate them slowly into that with the other sheep. I don't want to do it with a hot wire around there. Hey girls, you gonna come see me? Not really. They're still a little bit on the spooky side yet. But hey, it's a new home. Things are different than they've ever had it, so I can understand that. So there we go. That's how I shipped them home. What size crate you'd probably need if you're shipping young stuff like that yourself. That's my procedures for what I do when I get them here. Yours may be different. You may do totally different. There is no right way or wrong way to do that. There's your way to do that. However you want to do it, that's the right way for you. That's what's important. I'm doing what I think is the right way for me. Now, next week, we're going to talk a little marketing. And then we're going to talk, yeah, I bought a ewe that's all white. At least, I don't think that's going to be a roaning on the back of her neck. We'll see. We'll see down the line. Maybe she does it. Now I look and it looks like she's almost got a little roaning on the back of her tail if the sun's right. We'll see down the line. But either way, I still did that. And I think all part of that is part of marketing. And if we're going to have the sheep, we're going to have them and raise them and we want to sell them, marketing is part of selling. Marketing is part of it. You got to know what your market, what you're going to do. And let's talk a little marketing next week. How's that? See you next week.